Little Shoemaker. Once upon a time, there lived a skillful and earnest shoemaker. The shoemaker was poor and did not even have enough money to buy new leather. Finally, he only had enough leather to make one pair of shoes. "This is the last bit of leather I have. I'd better make a great pair of shoes so someone will buy them." Saying this, the shoemaker started cutting the leather. After he finished cutting, he decided to rest for the night. The next morning, the shoemaker came to his workshop and was surprised. There was a new pair of shoes already made from the leather he had cut up the night before. "This is a great pair of shoes." The shoes were skillfully made and amazed the shoemaker greatly. The pair of shoes were sold immediately, and this made the shoemaker's wife very happy. With the money he made, the shoemaker bought enough leather to make 2 pairs of shoes. Then he started cutting the leather up for 2 more pair of shoes. "Phew! It's already late. I will finish making the shoes tomorrow." The shoemaker put the cut leather neatly down on the table and turned off the lights to go to bed. The next morning, the shoemaker came to his workshop. He found 2 pairs of amazingly made shoes on the top of his table. The shoemaker was surprised and called for his wife. "My dear, come here quickly." "What's the matter, dear?" My, what great shoes you have made." No, I did not make them. They were already here." The 2 of them thought that it was a present from God. Just like this, the shoes were magically made many times. The shoes were sold every day. People heard about the amazing shoes the shoemaker sold and came from all over to buy them. The shoemaker and his wife were able to make money and became wealthy. One day, the shoemaker said to his wife, "Those shoes that God gave us are really amazing. I would like to see how He makes them." The 2 of them were curious about how God made the shoes and decided to take a peek that night. That night, as usual, the shoemaker cut the leather and placed it on the table. He hid by the door and waited. After a while, something started to come out of a hole in the wall. Oh no! Could it be mice? When they looked closely, they found out that it wasn't mice, but instead 2 elves. The shoemaker and his wife were surprised and stared at the elves. The 2 elves got some needle and thread and started to skillfully sew the leather up. So, it wasn't God who made these shoes. These are nice elves. We should do something for them to thank them. The 2 of them decided to make some elf clothes and elf shoes since they had no clothes on them. The following night, the shoemaker and his wife placed the handmade clothes and shoes on the table for the elves and hid themselves again by the door. After some moments, the two elves appeared.
What happened? There's no leather for us tonight. Look, there's some clothes here that will fit us. And even shoes.
The two elves wore the new clothes and the shoes and were excited.
This is great! We can go anywhere with these shoes.
When the shoemaker and his wife saw this, their hearts were filled with warmth. Since that night, the two elves never came back again. But the people continued to come and buy shoes from the shoemaker. The shoemaker continued to work hard making shoes and lived happily ever after with his wife.